It's Sunday, January 26th, 2025, and we finally got some weather to talk about here. I feel like we were talking to each other every day there for a little while. We had a small break, but now things are picking up again, and we've got multiple storms on the way that we've got to cover right now. All right, we've got to start off talking about that 500 millibar winds. You guys know I love looking at this whenever we're talking about anything that's more than 2 or 3 days out. The weather really starts up top. Okay, you got to open the hood, look at the top before you get down there to the bottom, to the surface, because the surface level weather is the hardest part to predict. This is actually kind of easy, and we've got a good idea of what the winds are going to be like several thousand feet above our heads as we go into next week. Two obvious big features here. We've got this big upper level closed off low lingering off to the south and west, and we've got a screaming jet stream up here in the north. Okay, I'm going to tell you about both of those and what they mean right here in a second. As I push this into Tuesday and Wednesday, you can start to see some organization here. You can start to see how this is going to impact our weather. First of all, even starting today, the southwest to northeast flow that's going to be coming into the southwestern portion of the United States is going to be very beneficial to all of these places that have been ravaged by wildfires recently. This is going to take some Pacific moisture and dump it onto some places like Los Angeles, San Diego, southwestern portions of Arizona. And what that's going to do is it is going to provide some wildfire relief, but it's also going to cause a little bit of a flash flood problem. We've got to be concerned about burn scars, debris flows, and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you're looking out for that today and tomorrow in the southwest. But watch what happens as I go into Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to start to see a really decent return flow of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico coming right up over the south central plains, specifically in Texas, and that's going to meet up with a pretty decent lobe of cold air locked inside of this closed off low pressure system, and that's likely going to lead to some thunderstorms and some heavy rain out here in the south central U.S. Also, this big feature, our polar jet, is going to send probably some really cold air up into the northeast. This will likely be the coldest air of the season for you guys, okay? Everybody else has already experienced their cold air of the season. This one's just going to be for the northeast. You've got a pocket of really cold air coming in likely Wednesday into Thursday, and it doesn't look like it's going to impact Florida this time, for example. But our lingering low in the southwest is going to continue to cause problems here as we go through the middle of the week. Here's a look at those temperature anomalies. Once again, look at that cold air breaking out Tuesday through Thursday in the northeast. Some of this is going to be very cold, but watch what happens at the same time. The rest of us are going to be warming up quite a bit, especially in the south central United States, Texas, Oklahoma. We're going to see some places out there that are 20 degrees above average. That's going to be fueling the storms. We go into Thursday, and then look at this. Some places, 20 to 30 degrees below average up here in upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So quite the contrast between the northeast and the central United States. But this is a recipe for a pretty big severe weather maker, to be honest. And that's why we have the official day 4 SPC outlook for a slight risk of severe thunderstorms in San Angelo on Wednesday. I expect that this outlook will maintain as a slight risk as we go into tomorrow. It might include San Antonio, it might include Lubbock, but San Angelo, you guys are almost a shoe-in for seeing some severe weather on Wednesday. This is going to start off, I think, as a really good chance of some isolated hail and damaging winds and maybe even some tornadoes. And then as we go into Thursday, things are going to start to move off to the east, and I think the threat's going to be much more related to a mesoscale convective system, a straight line damaging wind type of deal. We obviously will always have to watch out for tornadoes embedded in that line and maybe some prefrontal supercells, but this will be a problem from San Angelo down to San Antonio all the way up to Dallas on Thursday, January 30th, 2025. So go ahead and get ready for severe weather out here in Texas. Now, with a system like this, it's not just severe weather that we have to watch out for. First of all, today into tomorrow, we're going to have a decent plume of moisture that works up into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and even up into the Ohio and Tennessee valleys as we go into Tuesday. That might bring a little bit of snow into my neck of the woods. Look at this big, massive clipper up here in Canada, bringing snow to the Great Lakes region. That big cold blast that you guys are going to see in the northeast is going to come along with your own snow, but that's going to get out of here pretty quickly, and then that closed off low is going to become our major, talking point as we go forward, as we have some more snow showers racing over the Great Lakes here. Watch what happens as we go into the day on Wednesday. A very large area of moisture is going to become present, and it's going to start precipitating across the south central central U.S., and this is going to be very heavy rainfall. Even where it doesn't storm, we're going to have some really heavy rainfall rates maybe in the Arklatex region because of all of the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be coming up. Also, we've got a pretty decent chance of some snow on the backside. Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. This might actually be a pretty decent snowstorm for you guys. And then as this organizes into a larger storm system on Thursday, we might have a pretty strong winter storm coming together in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. And then this is also when we're going to have some severe weather concerns in Texas around Dallas maybe. And it even could spread up farther north into the Red River Valley, up towards Oklahoma City as well. But I think the main threat, especially as we get past Thursday, and this big moisture blob is spreading over more of the south central U.S. over towards the Mississippi River Valley, is going to be the heavy rain. We are going to have lots of heavy rain problems with this, so get ready for flash flooding. It also, normally we would look for snow on the northern side of this all the way up into Canada because it's starting off down here almost certainly as a big snowstorm, but the picture becomes a little bit more muddy and we're not as sure about what the impacts of snow will be on the northern side of this as we go forward. It doesn't look like it's going to be one of those major snowstorms that kind of covers this whole area right now, but that could change and I'll keep you updated as we go forward. The one thing we know for sure is that there's going to be a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, and it's something that we've got to watch for potential flooding problems. Here's our day 5 excessive rainfall outlook from the Weather Prediction Center, highlighting that same region in a slight risk of flash flooding. So this is actually quite uncommon to see a day 5 slight risk this large associated with a system like this in January. So I would almost guarantee that this is going to be a larger risk, maybe even a moderate risk as we get closer to the event. So southeastern Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas, northeastern Texas, northwestern Louisiana, you guys have got to watch out for flooding as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. And of course, you guys saw those clippers and all that moisture coming down from Canada over the lakes, and that's going to result in snow, especially for upstate New York. We got a 77% chance of seeing more than 2 inches of snow through 7 a.m. Wednesday in Rochester. And most of this is going to be right next to the lakes. A lot of this is going to be lake-enhanced snow, but even places way out into central Pennsylvania, southern portions of New York, maybe even Boston, we'll see some snow as those Arctic winds blow through this week. Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. So this is between January 31st and February 4th. This looks a lot different than what we have been seeing on these outlooks. We're above average in Florida. We're above average all the way plumb up into Wisconsin and Michigan. So yeah, enjoy it, guys. We're going to be having a major pattern flip, and the massive cold January is out. Okay, as we go into February, things are going to be warming up in the east. That is also going to lead to some colder air in the west, and that's going to lead to a battle zone in the middle that will likely lead to several storm systems where we've got to watch out for snow in the plains, in the northern plains, and back into the Intermountain West, and we've got to watch out for severe weather in the south and southeast. That pattern is going to continue likely all the way into the middle of February as the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook shows the cold air trying to squeeze farther into the east. Basically, all that does is it changes the battle zone, so a lot of our storms will be more focused over here. If we're going to have a big winter storm in Chicago this year, it's likely going to happen sometime in this time frame, February 2nd to February 8th, because we'll likely see low pressure systems forming and then riding that line between the below average temperatures and the above average temperatures. And this is just kind of the perfect setup for snow over here. I don't know for sure if that's going to happen, but I know that some people have been asking about it. Just want to remind you once again that YALLBOT is working 24/7 over there on the Ryan Hall Y'all Extra channel. Some of you guys get mad at me whenever we don't make a video. I personally, I don't like making a video every day if there's nothing to talk about. It makes me kind of stretch, it makes me, I have to look for something to talk about, and I don't like hyping up future weather events too much. But if you need weather content, if you need an update on what's going on right now at any time, YALLBOT over on the Extra channel is a good way to go. Go over to Ryan Hall Y'all Extra, subscribe to this channel, and it's 24/7. And right now it's talking about a winter storm warning in California. Here in a minute, it'll be talking about the severe weather that's about to happen in Texas. Texas, basically everything that I talk about, but it's just on a loop. And anytime there's a new thing that happens, it knows instantly, and it will take you right to there, and it will update you on that, including, by the way, recently we've added wildfires and earthquakes. This is like the best way to be updated on real-time stuff like that I've found. Like there's no other place that compiles all this information in such a way to where you can understand it so easily. So it's free. Go check it out. And that's all the weather talk I have for you today. The big story here is our severe weather that's coming for the south central U.S. and then all the rain that's going to happen on top of that. So as long as those outlooks stay on the map from the Storm Prediction Center, I'm going to be making daily updates all the way through Wednesday and Thursday. There's even a slight chance that we do a live stream on Thursday for the severe weather that will be impacting the Texas area. So make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. Turn notifications on, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.